stop scrolling for 1 second. Because what I'm about to tell you might be the most important 2 minutes you spend on relationships this year. Somewhere right now, there is a woman staring at her phone, waiting for a text that isn't coming. And somewhere else, there's another woman who never has to wait, because the man in her life shows up before she even has to ask. The difference between these two women isn't luck. It isn't beauty. It isn't even effort. It's pattern recognition. Because when a man is truly meant for you, he doesn't make you guess, chase, or decode anything. He makes it obvious. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the 5 unmistakable things that always happen when a man is meant for you. Signs so clear that once you see them, you will never again waste your time wondering, does he really mean it? Number 3 will completely change how you read a man's silence. And number 5 is the one that separates real love from a very good performance of it. So if you've ever been confused about where you stand with someone, do not skip this. Watch till the end, because this could save you months, maybe even years, of heartbreak. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, this is the place where we cut through the confusion around love and relationships and tell you the truth. Not the version social media sells you, not the fairy tale version, but a version that actually helps you build something real. Every week, we break down patterns like this one, so you stop repeating the same heartbreak with different faces. If that's something you need in your life right now, hit subscribe before we continue, because trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next on this channel. Alright, let's get into it. The first thing that always happens when a man is meant for you is this. His actions become consistent, not convenient. A man who is only interested when it's easy for him will show up in bursts, intense one week, distant the next. But a man who is meant for you does not disappear the moment life gets busy. He does not vanish for 3 days and casually reappear like nothing happened. He replies. He follows through. He makes plans and actually keeps them. He does not make you the exception to his effort, he makes you the reason for it. Consistency is not the dramatic, movie-style version of romance we are taught to expect. It's quiet. It's steady. It's almost boring. But it is the single clearest proof that a man is building something with you, because real consistency requires real intention. And intention cannot be faked for very long. If a man's behavior toward you never depends on his mood, his week, or his convenience, pay attention. That is not an accident. That is a choice he keeps making over and over about you. The second thing that always happens is that he starts talking about the future. And you're already in it. Not vaguely. Not hypothetically. He says things like, next year we should, or when we, completely naturally, without even realizing he said it. You don't have to pull this out of him with a serious conversation. It slips out on its own, because in his mind, you are already part of what's coming. A man who is not meant for you keeps the future deliberately vague. Maybe, we'll see. Let's not put a label on it. That vagueness is not mystery. It is protection for him at the cost of your certainty. But a man who is meant for you speaks about tomorrow like you're already standing in it beside him. So listen closely, not just to what he says about you, but to the tense he uses when he talks about his life. That tense will tell you the truth long before any "what are we" conversation ever will. Here is the one most women completely overlook. A man who is meant for you protects your peace, not just your feelings. Here's the thing, comforting you after he's hurt you is easy. Any man can learn the right words to say sorry. Real love is not measured by how well he apologizes. It is measured by how rarely he gives you a reason to need an apology at all. A man who is meant for you thinks about how his choices will affect your peace of mind before he acts, not after the damage is done. He communicates instead of leaving you to guess. He tells you where he is instead of leaving you to assume the worst. He closes loops instead of leaving them wide open for your anxiety to fill in the blanks. This is completely different from a man who is simply skilled at apologizing after chaos. Sweet words after a storm are not love. Preventing the storm in the first place that is love. If a man is protecting your peace before it's ever broken, that is one of the strongest signs you will ever get. The fourth thing that always happens is this: other people notice it before you even fully register it yourself. Your friends mention it. Your family mentions it. Someone casually says, he looks at you differently, or the way he talks about you is different when you're not around. This matters more than people realize because it proves his feelings for you are not a performance he switches on only when you're watching. A man who is meant for you does not turn off his affection the second you leave the room. He speaks about you with respect and pride even when there is nothing to gain from it. He doesn't need an audience to be proud of you. He's already proud when no one's checking. So when the people around you start noticing his consistency completely independent of you, that is not a coincidence. That is outside confirmation of something real. And now, the fifth thing, the one that changes everything. When a man is truly meant for you, you feel safe enough to be fully, completely yourself around him. Not the curated version. Not the version you perform to keep the peace, avoid conflict, or prevent rejection. The real one, messy, moody, opinionated, imperfect, human. This is the deepest sign of all. Because performing for love is absolutely exhausting. And if you constantly have to shrink your personality, soften your opinions, or hide parts of who you are just to keep his interest, that is not love that was meant for you. That is a man who was only ever interested in a version of you. But when a man is genuinely meant for you, his presence does not shrink you. It expands you. Around him, you become more yourself, not less. That kind of safety cannot be faked, and it cannot be forced into existence. It either exists naturally or it simply doesn't. And no amount of effort on your part can manufacture it if it's missing. So let's bring it all together. When a man is meant for you, he is consistent, not convenient. He speaks about the future with you already in it. He protects your peace before it's ever broken. The people around you notice his consistency even in your absence. And most importantly, you feel safe enough to be completely, unapologetically yourself around him without fear of losing him for it. If even one of these is consistently missing, it doesn't automatically make him a bad person. But it might mean he's not the one meant for this chapter of your story. And that is okay. Because the right one for you will never require you to convince yourself that he's right. Now I want to hear from you directly. Which one of these 5 hit you the hardest today? Drop a comment below and tell me. I personally read every single one. And your comment might even become the topic of next week's video. If this gave you even a moment of clarity, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, tap like, and send this to a woman in your life who needs to hear this exact message right now. This channel is built by this community, one video at a time. And I am genuinely glad you're here. I'll see you in the next one.